Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Makeup by Drexel. Today's video is going to be an eyebrow tutorial. So I feel like I get asked numerous questions about my eyebrows pretty frequently. I get asked by friends, families, old coworkers, old clients, new clients. I just get asked a lot of questions on eyebrows, so I felt, especially with the holidays being here and glam makeup being pretty much in full effect now that it's like November 2nd or November 3rd. I don't know, my days are kind of mixed up, kind of lost in this week, but I definitely feel like eyebrows are always a hot topic. Everybody is always reinventing their eyebrows. There's always some trend or something new to try out with eyebrows, or maybe you just haven't found a technique that works good for you, that you feel confident doing. I will say eyebrows do take a lot of practice, so don't get impatient or frustrated with yourself if you don't get it the first couple times. I will say that it really depends on the tools that you have, the products that you're using, as well as just perfecting your technique. I'm not saying go out and buy all these products that I will be showing today in my video, but I am saying that just try what you have at home first, and then if there's something that you see me use that you absolutely have to have or that you absolutely want to try for yourself, definitely go out and grab that product, because not all the products that I use will work for everybody. I mean, people are different skin tones, skin types. There are also definitely different hair colors out there, and there's also definitely different textures of hair out there. Some people have thicker eyebrow hairs, more coarse eyebrow hairs, more fuller eyebrows, where mine are a lot thinner, and I do have a few gaps here and there in my eyebrows. So I'm definitely saying just stick with me through this video, because I promise you there is something within this video that, if you're still looking for the perfect eyebrow technique, I'm sure there's something that you could take from this video. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into our video today. So the first step that I'm going to take in doing my eyebrows, which I do every single time I do my eyebrows, is I'm going to take a spoolie. In this case, I'm just going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyebrow Brush, the number 7 brush, and I'm going to use a spoolie, and I'm just going to comb through my eyebrows so that way I can make sure I get all the hairs going in one direction. Normally, I like to do my brows before I do my foundation, but sometimes I don't. Like today, it's just kind of the mood that I'm in, but I definitely do recommend, no matter whether you have your foundation on already or not, always groom through your eyebrows, because sometimes you can get a little bit of moisturizer in there and it can make your eyebrows look a little bit waxy if you don't remove it beforehand. Or if you do your foundation, your powder and things, sometimes you can get products in your eyebrow hair, so you just want to make sure that everything is clean. That way the foundation or the powder doesn't alter the color of your eyebrows. The next product I'm going to use is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Primer. I've been using this product for years now, and I absolutely love it. I feel like it's a never-ending product in terms of I use it nearly every single day, whether I put it on my eyebrows or I don't, because I like the fact that it just kind of holds my eyebrow hairs in place. But less with this product is gonna be more. This is what the product looks like. It's a lot bigger, but like I've said, is it gonna focus? But like I've said, it lasts forever. So this is what the product actually looks like. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to push it through my brows, and then I'm going to go ahead and take a spoolie again, and I'm going to go ahead and comb it out, so that way in case I had a little bit too much on the brow, I can brush out a little bit of the excess. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, because I'm going to start applying color to my eyebrows. Okay. So, the first product that I'm going to actually put in my eyebrows is going to be the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills number 7 Eyebrow Brush as well, and it's just this little bad boy right here. It's very, very fine, which is why I like it, and it has the spoolie at the other end. And the shade that I'm going to use in the Dip Brow Pomade is going to be the soft brown, kind of same thing, getting my words mixed up. But like I've said, I've kind of ran through this, so it may look a little messed up, but that's the initial color. I like brow products that have no undertones of red. My hair typically is like black or like a very, very dark brown, so on days that I have more natural makeup looks on, I do prefer to go for a more natural eyebrow. Maybe days that I have smoky eyes or a heavier eyeshadow look on, I do prefer to use a darker brow pomade, still by Anastasia. That's going to be the Dark Brow Dip Brow Pomade, and you guys can see how much darker that is compared to that. But both do not have an undertone of red in it, which is why I really like it. I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to get a little bit on my brush. The thing with these two is that they typically will dry out a little bit quicker, so if that's the case, just kind of like, I typically will just push my brush down a little bit more until I get that more creamy like texture, or you guys can always use the Duraline, I want to say, from Inglot, or 244 Fluid. 244 Fluid is what they use in cream makeup for like stage makeup or prosthetics that help break down cream products, so that way they either get more hydration or they're a little bit more sheer. I love 244 Fluid because it's super cheap and you can get a huge bottle and you can literally mix it into foundations, brow products, like concealer. You can really mix it into anything makeup wise that is a liquid, so that's what I like to use to rehydrate my product. I like to start at the top of my eyebrow so that way I can kind of get a guide going, and I'm gonna start right in the middle of my brow and I'm gonna sketch back. As you guys can see, this is the beginning of my brow. It definitely is a lot more fuller up at the top opposed to the other brow in the arch. It definitely isn't as full looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I feel like this is a huge tip I can give anybody. If you have brows that are super similar to mine or thicker than mine, this is a really good tip. So what you want to do is when you're actually doing the brow, you don't want to create a line all the way to the very front of the brow. Take a couple steps back. So where I would typically start my brow is going to be right in this area. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to create like a little line underneath my brow, connecting it to the arch and to the tail of the brow where I started up at top. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because we're actually going to go in and we're going to clean everything up. So if your lines aren't completely straight or you accidentally get some of the brow product down below, don't worry about it, because I'm going to show you guys a cool little tip that you can use to go ahead and just clean it up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pick up my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in dark brown, and this is what it looks like. And I'm actually going to use the lighter color in the front, but for right now I'm going to start with this darker color because I want a little bit more definition in the arch of my brow moving backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start right in the arch of my brow, moving backwards. And I like to push up right against that line that I created in the arch of my brow to begin with. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this MAC 212 flat, I want to say it was actually a flat liner brush. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to actually go ahead and take my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC30. You guys can see she's been used and abused for quite some time. This is another product I feel like never runs out ever. Nonetheless, it's a great product. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to get some on my brush. And remember when I said don't do that line in the very front, because like everybody gets that weird line under there and then everybody's kind of like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to start lining right underneath. So this is definitely going to give the front of my eyebrow some definition, as well as this is going to clean up any outgrowth that I have underneath my arch. It's also going to go ahead and it will definitely clean up any mistakes that I've made underneath the brow. And it's kind of nice because if you guys use maybe like your highlighting color, if you don't have a specific concealer for under the brow, it's nice because it just works as a highlight. So I don't ever put a highlight underneath my eyebrow, just using my concealer. So I don't ever put like a shadow underneath my eyebrow. Sometimes if I have like a really crazy bold makeup look on, I will, but most of the time I don't. So now that we have that line right there underneath, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that Essence eyeliner brush or eyebrow, it doesn't matter, you know, you can use whatever you want for anything in makeup. There's no rules. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that now lighter color in my Anastasia Brow Duo, and I'm actually going to go to the very top of my brow now. Just kind of filling in where I might need a little bit more TLC. You don't have to do this if you don't want. This is just kind of like a tip and trick. There's two different eyebrow pencils that you can use. There's two that I really like. I love the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Brunette because again, this doesn't have any red in it. So I like that one, or I really like the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit. And the color that I use in this, I know I said I use 6 in the pomade and that's a really dark color, but as for the pencil, I like to use 2, which is more of a taupe-like color. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me swatch it on my hand. It's the same pencil, no, barely any pressure, and I applied a lot of pressure here, and I'm applying a lot of pressure now. But I like it because I feel like I have more control. I feel like with brow pencils in general, if you use something too dark, it can get really crazy really fast. And I prefer a pencil that has a little bit more of a dry texture to it, because I do feel like if you use something that has more slip to it, meaning it has more of like a gel formula to it, it can end up getting really crazy really fast, and it's hard to lighten a brow opposed to darken a brow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use this Benefit Goof Proof pencil in shade 2 to continue filling up in those little areas where the powder mist. Now I like powder in my brows, I don't love it it just kind of gives me a guide. But the reason being is because I have such fine eyebrow hair and I do have gaps in my eyebrows that I feel like powder doesn't always necessarily completely fill it in. So I just go in with a pencil and I like to kind of start filling in the front of the brow as well as where I was applying that powder. I'm barely with barely any pressure, barely touching the front of my brow because I don't want my brows to look super dark or super boxy. So it's really important that you don't apply a ton of pressure to the front of the brow. I'm just gonna go ahead and just flick upwards with this pencil. That way when it fills it in, it'll kind of create more natural like hair strokes. So now I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, what's that baby hair is peeking through? So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna use a Morphe M503 blending brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna blend that concealer into the eyeshadow that I already have on. When you get to the front of the brow, you just want to kind of make sure that you're a little bit more gentle with the blending because you don't want to push your brush into the concealer too much where it's going to expand into your eyebrow. Typically, I'll just finish my eyebrows and move on to the next thing, or if it's the last thing that I do, I just kind of put the last of the powder and the pencil in them and then I just kind of go. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to set the brows. So there are two eyebrow gels that I like to use. One is the Anastasia Clear Eyebrow Gel. But my all-time favorite one that I always go back to, that is also another product that I feel like lasts forever, is the Anastasia Brow Tamer Tinted Gel in the shade Dark. This one, I think that they only have like 3 or 4 shades. And the spoolie is really small. Now the thing about this product too is that there is a lot in there, so when you guys pull it out, make sure that you're wiping the excess product off, or else you're just going to get like a super dark brow super quick, and it's a little bit harder to remove a brow gel than it is to remove a pencil or a powder. So what I'm going to do is I like to start in the very center or at the arch of my brow and then kind of move back and then use the remaining product on the spoolie to go ahead and brush through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start right here. What this tinted brow gel does in particular is not only does it set your brow, but it also helps fill in those little gaps in the brow. Do you guys see the difference from the front of my brow to the other brow in the front of it? See, this one kind of still needs a little bit more TLC, where this one just kind of looks all completed in one color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and you can even kind of go in a brushing upward manner. Okay guys, so that is going to wrap up the end of my first ever brow tutorial. If you guys are interested in a more dramatic eyebrow tutorial, for those of you who will be wearing a smoky eye or a more heavy eyeshadow look during this holiday season, just go ahead and drop some comments below, because I would love to film a little bit of a more dramatic eyebrow tutorial for those of you who are interested. Other than that, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Go ahead and give it a look at my broken nail. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you guys like this video. Also, go ahead and drop some comments down below in the comment boxes if you guys have any feedback or any questions about any of the products or about the technique that I used in today's video. Also, if you guys have not hit that subscribe button, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and go ahead and turn on your notifications so that way you guys go ahead and get notified when I do post new content. I will be posting a lot of good holiday glam looks for this holiday season. It's crazy to think that 2018 is just 2 months away. So you guys know that we all love us some good glam during the holidays because this is the best time of year to go makeup shopping, and there's a lot of good and hot products on the market this year. I feel like Sephora and Ulta have just kind of exploded with amazing products in the past couple of weeks. So go ahead and turn on your notifications if you guys are interested in being the first to see my take on holiday glam. Other than that, I will see you guys again in my next video. It is freaking hot. I don't know how I just got through that brow tutorial when I just drank a whole cup of coffee and I'm like, zzz.